Right, let's review this video. I believe, based on the background, that it is from San Diego Comic-Con. It is an interview with the devs, I believe. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm really excited to see what they say. The title of it is We Won't Leave New Players Behind. So I want to see what they have to say about new players joining the franchise. Can they just go straight in to the Veilguard without playing the other games? We've been told yes, but let's have a listen and see what they say, and we can pause it and review it as we go. So let's dive on in.
Hello everyone, we're here at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. I'm Lucy, joined once again by Tam, and we are here with the BioWare team to talk more about Dragon Age the Veilguard. So we've got creative director John Epler.
Perfect.
Hello, hello.
And creative performance director Ashley.
Hello. Hi.
Wonderful.
Hi. Now, I mean, look, we are both very big Dragon Age fans, and we have been waiting a very long time for this game, for the Veilguard, and we're very excited to see more of it. How does it feel from your side, finally being able to talk about it?
It's amazing. It's honestly just, I mean, it's been a thrill just being able to talk about it this last month and a bit. I've been on this project for its entirety, and just now getting to talk about and show off the hard work that the team's put together has been genuinely thrill of my life. So
Yeah, it's literally the first time that I've been able to publicly speak about it and to celebrate the work that's been done with the people that have made it. I mean, it's great.
Do you remember what the kind of objective was for the game, the mission statement? Because obviously it's been a really long time, and also these games, they evolve in really drastic ways from game to game. So as a team, when you came together, what was the mission statement for a new Dragon Age?
So, I mean, for us, a lot of it came down to where we left the story at the end of Trespasser. We'd set up what we wanted to do. We set up the future, and then taking that story and honestly bringing it to a conclusion. So for us, it was always going to be about, that story. It used to be called the Dreadwolf, now it's called the Veilguard, but it's always been about taking a specific story, bringing it to an end, and building it into a fantastic single-player RPG. So
what I like about this, now that I understand it, is that the story that they were building up throughout the whole of the end of Inquisition and the whole of Trespasser is the beginning of Veilguard. The beginning of Veilguard is the conclusion of the story they were telling through Inquisition and through Trespasser. So then the rest of the game is the consequences of that conclusion, which is what I'm really looking forward to. I want to see where it goes. I want to see how I can influence it. I want to see how it develops. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing where they go after the conclusion of Trespasser. So let's go.
We wanted you to be the hero of your own adventure.
What are people's opinions of the changing from Dreadwolf to the Veilguard? I personally understand it completely. What the dev said was that the implications behind it, calling it Dreadwolf, is that the whole thing was about stopping Solus, whereas the reality is that Solus plays a really focused part in the beginning of the game, and then once that kind of, like I say, once that conclusion has happened, then he takes more of a backseat. And he's been described as the devil on your shoulder or something like that. I think Kala said in her video that he's like the devil on your shoulder trying to influence you into doing things, which I love. I absolutely love. So, but then the focus changes after that conclusion, more onto the consequences of that conclusion, and it focuses around the Veilguard. It would be like, I don't know, it's like Inquisition. Inquisition is about the Inquisition, the people that make up the Inquisition. It would be weird if Inquisition was named anything else. So I completely understand why they changed it. And once you understand the influence that Solus has on the rest of the game, you'll understand that it just makes sense to go from Dreadwolf to the Veilguard. And whether you... Exactly. What if it was named Dragon Age Corypheus? Can you imagine? Nah. It's like calling Star Trek Voyager Star Trek Janeway. Exactly. That's how it feels. And where... It's okay to have like soft titles, but when you're in the development process, soft titles will either stay or they will go. That's just how everything is. There's been so many OCs that I've made during my creative life that have started with one name, but as they have developed as characters, I've changed their name to suit them better, just because things don't stick. And that's just the way things are. It's just, I don't personally mind what they call it. I do miss the DAD abbreviation. Now we have DAV, because nobody uses the Dragon Age Veilguard, not Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's like when Iron Bull gets mad because he has an article in front of his name, but nobody uses it. The Iron Bull. But I don't mind it at all. I'm really looking forward to it, and I kind of like Veilguard, especially because my name is Unifadewalker. I just kind of vibe with it, honestly. So I'm on board. I'm good to go.
And that, I think that was always the North Star.
Yes.
And I think we executed on it, and that's why it's like, get in the game, play it.
It's always going to be about, that
Good old
story.
Dave.
We talked. It used to be called the Dreadwolf. Now it's called the Veilguard. But it's always been about taking a specific story, bringing it to an end, and building it into a fantastic single-player RPG. So
We wanted you to be the hero of your own adventure. And that, I think that was always the North Star.
Yes.
And I think we executed on it. And that's why it's like, get in the game, play it, choose who you want to speak to, choose your consequences, and live with them. And I can't wait to get some feedback from you guys.
I mean, in that time, obviously, Dragon Age games change pretty substantially in between each one, and now
Look
we're
at
getting
it.
this big leap with Veilguard. But also, if you look at kind of the fantasy RPG space in that time, games like Witcher 3, Baldur's Gate have come out, and I don't know, how does it feel from your side of things? Because it feels like there's this renewed interest in that type of game. What other things are you looking at in terms of, something that they've maybe have done and like, oh, I wish we could have done that?
Thanks, YouTube. That interest never went away, is what I'll say. That interest never went away. The interest for RPGs has always been there. Just because people aren't producing RPG games at the rate that they used to be doesn't mean that we aren't still here playing all of our favorite old RPG games. We're just now being more accommodated with the RPG representation that we get. And honestly, I thank Larian for that a lot. I mean, there are other games like The Witcher 3, like was just mentioned, but I think people saw what Larian did with Baldur's Gate and the interest that brought in, and I think it's starting to get a little bit more excited. But Dragon Age was always there. It takes a while to build a game. People are bitching about the 10-year wait. Do you know how long it takes to build a game of this fucking scale? With all of those voice lines, there's 4 different voices for one character alone, for Rook. And it takes a very long time to re-record the same lines 4 times. This game has the most dialogue in it of any Dragon Age game. I'm really looking forward to it. This is the first time that the devs feel like they've got a handle on fucking Frostbite. I mean, I will always say I hate Frostbite, but this is the first time that the devs have said that they've got a real handle on it. This is the first time that they haven't been subject to like crunch or to like the pressure of whatever things, like rushing out games and meeting deadlines and whatever the fuck else they've had to. They've taken their time. They've taken the time that they've needed, and I'm really excited to see what they've produced with the time that they've taken to produce it. Do you know what I mean? Not to mention they had to scrap the first few years of that decade. Yeah, when they were trying to like make this an MMO, like an online multiplayer. No! EA, stop that. I don't know if it was you, EA, but stop that. Anyway, very excited.
it's been just fantastic to see the RPG space open up. I mean, fantasy RPGs, obviously, over the past year, but even over the past decade, have really grown into a genre that attracts a large audience. And for us, it's exciting to know that there's such a large audience looking for something like what we're giving them, looking for a new story, a new set of characters, a new game. And I mean, I don't think there's ever been a case where you looked at somewhere and said, oh, I wish we could do that. We've always kind of known what the game we're building is, but taking lessons,
What are your thoughts on the way the new demon designs? I need to ask this because I'm a huge Dragon Age demon supporter. I cosplay Pride demons, for fuck's sake. What are your thoughts? Like, these are shades or wraiths. I can't remember. I think they're shades. They might be elemental depending on their color, but the Pride demons don't have legs anymore, and the Rage demons look like big hounds. They look like Ifrit, if you know who Ifrit is. I'm fully on board with these, but I feel like the Pride demons have lost their sex appeal. I'm just saying. I don't mind the Rage demons so much, but I'm going to have to get used to what they used to look like to what they look like now. Just because when I see a Rage demon and it's not a big blob of lava, I don't immediately think, oh, that's a Rage demon. But these are cool. These are great. I much prefer these. If these are the new shades, I much prefer these to the old shades. But the Pride demon has lost its sex appeal, I'm afraid. And that's coming from your resident monster fucker. I mean, what?
Taking things that, you know, we've seen other people do and integrating them into our own game. It's been a fantastic opportunity, honestly. And yeah, I mean, it's really exciting to go into this market where, again, people are hungry for more fantasy. People are hungry for more storytelling in this space.
You mentioned like people are hungry for it. RPG fans are voracious when it comes to like just moving from one game to the other. And this new Dragon Age, the stakes are really high. So there's going to be a lot of people coming to the game that are new to it and entering, and basically everything's on fire. So how do you approach like making sure that...
They're like that meme. The new players that are coming straight into Veilguard are like that meme with the guy with the pizza box that walks into the house and the room's on fire. I love that analogy.
The stakes are clear for newcomers who haven't perhaps been, you know, following the journey all the way along, and also make sure that
this
is hitting to the level of grandeur that...
Can you imagine being a new player who hasn't played any of the other Dragon Age games, coming into Veilguard and just standing there and being like, Shogunai, this is fine. Just like, okay, I guess I'll fix everything. They're basically coming into everybody else's mess and fixing it. I'm excited, but how are they going to make new players feel safe? Yeah, exactly. Where are the dragons? I thought this was a Dragon Age. So they are night shift. Exactly, they're the night shift coming in to deal with all of our day shift shit that we've done throughout the rest of the games. All Solus's day shift shit, and then the night shift comes in like, the fuck. But let's see what they say.
Veterans need.
So one of the things we did when we built this game is, especially when you go into the prologue, and we've talked about this before, we wanted to feel like the final mission of a different game. We really wanted to set the stakes early and do so in a way that allows us to, again, for fans who've been with the franchise for a while, fans who've played Origins, DA2, Inquisition, there's a lot there for them that they're going to be able to jump into that's just feels like going home again, but also for new players getting, you know, we don't want new players to feel like they have to go back and play all those games, see all that media. So it's been a balancing act, but I think what's been really fantastic about it is, again, going with that philosophy of we want it to be respectful of what's come before, but also open and inviting to new players. And I think once you jump in, especially in the prologue, we onboard you pretty quickly. You understand the stakes, you understand what's going on, and your character's also learning about these stakes and the grand, like what's going on kind of at the same time as you are.
That's so smart. And Oliver said this in chat. Rook's in the same position. Rook has literally just been thrown headfirst into the deep end, being like, by the way, this guy has turns out he's an ancient elven god and he's trying to destroy the world. Oh no. And Rook's just like, for fuck's fine, I'll clean it up. And that's what new players are going to be like as well. So I think that's a really smart move. If you guys don't mind me like sucking the dicks of the devs for a minute. Like, that's a really smart move. Like, it's a really nice angle. It's a really nice angle. So not only are new players learning about it, they're going to learn through it through Rook, who is also learning it. So if you're a veteran player, you don't need to worry about stuff like that. You're going into it, you're just watching Rook learn about it. But if you're a new player, you're learning about it along with Rook. Honestly, mwah, fantastic. Great idea. Genuinely love that. That's going to be fantastic.
In some cases.
Yeah, it really unfolds, and the writing did such a good job of fusing the past with the future, and you can see that in the characters that are coming back that I can't talk about.
I was gonna say. I was like, keep going.
You know, a couple. I mean, we've shown them already, but yeah.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask. I mean, obviously, characters are so important in Dragon Age games.
Wait.
With fusing the past with
I
the
was reading
future,
chat.
and you can see that in the characters that are coming back that I can't talk about.
I was gonna say. I was like, keep going.
You know, a couple. I mean, we've shown them already, but yeah.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Somebody was asked, I can't remember who it was. I can't remember if it was Epler or if it was one of the other devs, but somebody was asked, is Dorian going to be in Veilguard? And the only answer they got was, you're going to have to wait and see. If Dorian shows up in Veilguard, I will shit. I will absolutely pass away. I will pass away. Oh. I will get into my Dorian cosplay and I will sit here and I will play the Dorian section in my Dorian cosplay. He has to be. It would be ridiculous if he's not. If he's not in Veilguard, I might actually cry if he's not in Veilguard. I can understand why Fenris wouldn't be there. I can understand why Zevran wouldn't be there. To be fair, I have done an aged up, long-haired version of Dorian in the past, but I haven't done it in years. I could update it. I would absolutely age him up. First, I want to see how long his hair is. I want to see how grey it's gotten. Can you imagine him with like a little silver line down there? Ah, Dorian! Oh, my man. My whole man.
I was going to ask, I mean, obviously, characters are so important in Dragon Age games. Where do you start with?
Well, that's why I think he's in it, Oliver, because he's clearly, with the Shadow Dragons, if not a fully fledged member, he's clearly like, funding them and supporting them and pointing them at things. He's clearly in with the Shadow Dragons. So let's fucking go. He's slipping the money under the table. Do you know what I mean? Like, go do things. Let me support you. Let me fund you. Also, Mayveris. If Mayveris shows up, I will also shit. Let's go. Trans representation.
Well, I was going to ask, I mean, obviously, characters are so important in Dragon Age games. Where do you start with building companions? Are there specific archetypes that you want to, like, roles to fill in the team? Or is it just, like, pen to paper and see what kind of comes out and who emerges from it?
Can you imagine Dorian talking to Emmerich? I can't. My brain's going to explode.
It's kind of a push and pull process between the story and the characters. We kind of know what we want the story to be, and then we look what characters make sense in the context of the story. But then obviously as the characters develop, sometimes that changes where the story is going. Maybe you'll find, we're building this character, they have this really unique perspective. Maybe we need to change the critical path of the game a little bit to allow them to.
That's what I thought, Oliver. I've been saying this for ages. He's going to be our Tevinter contact. He has to be. Or at least he has to be.
Use that perspective in an interesting way. So, I mean, and it's not just the writers, it's also the visual designers. Ashley can talk about the casting process for them as well.
Like the performances. I mean, the writing just, they lay out with our companions, for example. I'm doing this big circle because it feels like, the Veilguard is your on guard around Rook. And, we have such a We wanted characters that offer the most difference, the most choice, right, to bring along on your party. So how can these 7 followers really, diversify, juxtapose each other, fight with each other? How do they get along? Like, to make sure that each one is unique and has their own arc and they feel fully developed. And I think they really did that.
Well, and I think the other interesting thing too about the casting is as we bring these actors in, we start to learn their voices, and that changes the characters as well. So I mean, again, it's always a push and pull across all these multiple different teams, because there's also gameplay considerations that you need to take in mind. What roles can they fit on the team? Does it make sense with them? But it's really probably the most exciting part of the project for me is seeing these characters take shape and turn into what I would almost say feel like real people. Like you start to like, oh no, Scout Harding wouldn't like that, or that's something Pilar would be super interested in, and then you find these opportunities to bring them into the story, bring them into the main story, but also giving them their own arcs that exist parallel to that.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about that actually from a casting perspective, especially because I was reading up on Varric, and who he was intended to be and what he became was very different, because he needed to be like supportive of the main character. So he shifted in a lot of ways. How much input do you have where it's like, oh, if we made the characters more like this, I feel like this actor could play it better, or the actor is like this, we should change the character. Do you have that kind of back and forth?
I mean, it's an immense collaborative process, game dev. And people are like, why would it take so long? It's like, we're working together and we're iterating as we go, and we're listening to each other and what the actors are bringing and how they're saying different lines. And like John said, it influences the writing. So there was definitely a back and forth with different characters, and actors have lots of opinions, as they should. We all do. So it was a push and pull and a collaboration. But at the end of the day, the story, is so vast. And, John holds it in his head. I know a piece of it, the actors know a piece of it, and it all really needs to fit together. And that's like the vision holder. And so John's done a really good job of balancing the me, give me this,
Well, I think, but
I agree with everything you guys are saying in chat. Could it really be Game of the Year worthy? Inquisition was. So yes, I fully believe that this is Game of the Year worthy. Despite all of the fucking anger chads that are like shitting all over it right now for no fucking reason other than hatred sells or whatever, then why wouldn't it be Game of the Year? It looks like such a step up from Inquisition, and Inquisition got it. I literally have the Game of the Year edition of Dragon Age Inquisition. That's what I play. Unfortunately, it's hard to say when you think about what it could be competing up against, because there might be other games that people might just vote for more or might like more, or however the fuck it works. So we'll see, but I definitely think it's Game of the Year worthy. I just want to agree with Lance really quickly, because I was thinking the same thing. Total aside, her voice is like Velvet. I was just thinking how pretty she was as well. Like, that voice is lovely. Avowed is probably its biggest competition. Yeah, there's like some big names. So we'll see. I think it's Game of the Year worthy. Whether it'll get it or not depends on what games it's up against, because honestly, there are some big games that could probably steal it from it. But again, we'll see. Just when it comes out, make an absolute rave for it. Is Baldur's Gate 3 eligible for Game of the Year? Baldur's Gate 3 has already won Game of the Year, don't worry. Unless it's going to win Game of the Year 2 years in a row, but it's already Game of the Year. How does Game of the Year work? Does it go in again for another year? I don't think it does. But Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year this year at somewhere. I can't remember which one it was. I can't remember. Was it the golden joysticks or whatever it was? Fuck, I can't remember. But don't worry, Baldur's Gate 3 is already Game of the Year. It won all of the Game of the Years. So In the Game Awards, of course, that's it. And the Golden Joysticks, I think it won both. But yeah, don't worry. I think it won every Game of the Year it was nominated for, and a BAFTA. Fuck's sake, yeah. Well deserved. It's a fantastic game that I still have not completed because I am so excited about Veilguard that I haven't picked up Baldur's Gate in ages. But I'm on a challenge. Twitch chat has challenged me to complete Baldur's Gate 3 before the release of Veilguard, so I need to get on that. But first, let's listen a little bit more.
Kind of what Ashley said earlier, it's all about collaboration. I always have touch points with Ashley, touch points with Matt Rhodes, as creative director, but also as a writer, I have touch points with the various people, people doing the art for the characters, their missions. And again, it just, you find these characters, find these actors, and you do want to obviously have certain boundaries on where the character can shift, because as soon as they shift too far, they no longer make sense in the story. But we always want to have that flexibility. And I think for me and Ash, and honestly the entire team, it's good ideas can come from anywhere, and you should listen to them, because people who know these characters, some of them are going to know their own characters, better than you do, and it's always about listening and hearing what they have to say.
It was you and Miss Vincent. Excuse me, whilst I get a YouTube ad. Just whilst this YouTube ad is happening, I just want to say I can really see how proud the developers are of their characters. That way, I don't know if you guys make OCs for yourself, but that way where sometimes you make OCs for things like maybe you're writing stories or playing D&D, and you make that one OC that you're super proud of, that you just fall in love with, that you can't get enough of, that you write stories for, that you draw pictures for, that you're just so obsessed with. That's the energy that I'm getting from the developers about these companions, and that fills me with so much excitement. It's nice. Thank you very much.
Say hello, Bianca.
30.
What? That's almost a year.
Months. That's almost a year. Fuck yes, Slayer of Vamps. I hope you're feeling better, sweetheart. And thank you very much for 35 months. You're amazing. Welcome on in. But that fills me with joy. Like, you can tell from how they wrote to Winter Nights that they're really proud of their characters that they've made. You can tell from the interviews and stuff that they're doing and how they're promoting the characters. There's already a Nev Gallus figure that was promoted at San Diego Comic-Con. It looks fantastic. You can really tell the excitement that they have. They're very hopeful that we like the companions as much as they do. And even if we don't, it's like with Solus, they don't mind that people don't like Solus. It's a complicated situation. I can feel the genuine enthusiasm in these characters, and I'm genuinely excited to experience them in game. Let me at them. I wanna see what all the fuss is about.
Prepared the actors for kind of what it's going to be like for them once the game launches, because so many fans.
Although, just a moment of silence for all the devs and writers that we have lost during the purge. Just a slight moment of silence, lest we forget.
Favorites, even we've seen with previous Dragon Age games, just their career is going to completely change, and people are going to really attach themselves to those characters. Are they prepared for that?
Gosh, how much can you say to someone those words until you feel it? I think it's a whole different thing.
Well, I think especially, it's funny because in the case of Ash and I, we're not entirely sure how it's going to change.
Yeah.
We haven't been in these roles before, so it's just learning and seeing what. But I've been at BioWare for 17 years, Dragon Age for most of that time. Seeing how excited and passionate the fans are, it's something that you can't really tell someone. They have to see it themselves. And we've had some of the our voice actors out here, and they've expressed surprise. We did the signing yesterday, and I think one of them came up and said, "Yeah, I came up and I saw this giant line, and it's like, who's that for?" I was like, "Oh no, that's for you." And it's just this excitement and this realization that these are people who our fans have been waiting so long for another Dragon Age, and now they're finally getting it. And so I'd like to say I could prepare them, but I'm not entirely sure because it's been a while, and I'm excited to see how it goes too.
I'd love to.
Breaking news. They released a new blog, release date, roadmap, and looks at the game coming next month. Holy shit, Kala. I needed that for my last video. Where is it? On their Twitter? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. We have a breaking news. Dragon Age. Dragon Age, Dragon Age, Dragon Age. Thank you. Oh, on the BioWare thing. Perfect. Right. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. Oh my God. All right. Okay. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Where does it say the thing? Are you sure this is it? Are you sure this is the guy? That might be the wrong... Do they have another one? This is happening live. This is happening live as I speak. This is happening live. That's the guy. Let's go! Yep, this is the one that you sent. So, unveiling the Veilguard cast and characters detailed at San Diego Comic-Con. This is the one that Oliver sent. So San Diego Comic-Con has come to a close, but before delivering Mountains of Dragon Age fun for amazing fans in attendance, the highlight of the week was the panel we hosted on Friday featuring the cast of companions and stuff. We're only to blah 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 blah. All of the people and stuff. Da da da. Where is it? I'm scanning. Look at all these gorgeous pictures just whilst we're here. Where does it say that we're getting things next month? Towards the bottom, I'm scanning. Photo ops. They're very cute. Oh! She's no right being that beautiful. She has no right. Last paragraph. Last paragraph. Last paragraph. We'll have more to share next month, including a new roadmap, more looks at the game, and our official release date. We are getting it next month, August. Fuck yeah, let's go. We have at least an announcement for the release date. We are getting it next month. Not only are we getting it next month, the official release date, but we're getting more looks at the game and a new roadmap. Hopefully some more of looks at the game will be the character creation. They hid that in there. I need BioWare to stop hiding information like this behind things that people might not see, because it makes it very difficult to see. But here we go. We have an update for the release date. They are saying that our official release date will be next month. As of recording this, it is July 31st. This is July 31st. But they did that. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is that Kappa? Don't Kappa me. What does this mean? Hidden surprise? Oh! Hidden surprise. Give me the hidden surprise. Excitement? Yeah, but why is it in brackets? Anyway, there we go. So breaking news in the middle of this video. In the middle of this video, we can bring you the announcement that Dragon Age will be the official release date for Dragon Age Veilguard will be out next month, along with a new roadmap, and more looks at the game. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go! News channel official breaking news. It is happening now. Right now. Imagine breaking news at the top of the screen. So let's finish up on this video, but that's exciting. That is very exciting. Let's go. We win the whole internet. Let's go.
To know more about your mindset when it comes to gameplay continuity, because each of the games play different in some pretty large ways, which is not traditionally how games are approached, right? Like they kind of carry mostly over gameplay wise, but Dragon Age is always shifting. So how do you find that balance between making sure that the gameplay that you're presenting is fresh and unique, or has a fresh and unique take for the franchise, but also making sure that there's enough familiarity there for like returning players to feel comfortable to a degree, and also like enshrine that kind of like approach that you have to make each game different?
Each game at its core focuses on making sure the combat feels strategic and tactical. We always want to have that element of you have to think your way through the fight as much as you have to, use the more moment-to-moment combat. But I think in each case is what is the right combat for this game? What's the right gameplay for this game?
What do you guys think about the combat? I think
Origins
it looks great.
was one thing, DA2 was another, Inquisition was yet a third thing, but each one builds on the lessons of the last one. So I think, again, the Veilguard's combat is all about, finding that strategic layer, finding that tactical layer, and also bringing the moment-to-moment gameplay up as well.
Well, John, Ashley, thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to see more of the Veilguard. Can you give us a hint as to when it's coming out?
Fall 2024.
Doesn't it sound sweet?
Does that mean that the game is coming out next month? No, it's just the release date that is coming out next month. But that was a really cute little interview. It's good to see. It's nice to see that they're thinking about how new players are coming in. I really like the twist with Rook being a new player as well, technically. We got that breaking news. I'll make a separate video just announcing the breaking news about the release date and stuff next month. But yeah, that's fantastic. I think that's a lovely little interview, honestly. The gameplay looks fantastic. I love hearing the devs talk about it, because it is their passion project as well, and it makes me enthusiastic, even more enthusiastic about it, hearing the people who made it be enthusiastic about it. I really wish BioWare would stop hiding information, important information like that, behind things that are easily like hidden. It would be nice to have things be more official with like releases and things. I know that they're just trying to get people to read their blogs and stuff, but it would be nice if it was like in your face official. But hey, we'll take what we can get at this point. But yeah, breaking news, official release date hopefully coming next month. Fantastic. Let me know your comments. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on everything. Are you excited about the release date? When do you think the release date is going to be? Did you enjoy this little interview? Do you like the combat? Are you a new player? Are you a veteran player? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear all your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next Veilguard video. See you next time, guys. Bye.